If you would stand on your feet, turn to the book of Job. The book of Job. Gave you a commercial last week that there was something I needed to talk about this week, and so I'm going to do just that. Job chapter 7, verse 11, there you find these words recorded. Job says to God, "Therefore I will not restrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul." If you don't mind, I want to preach from this thought. God, listen up. God, listen up. This message is not for the faint at heart. It's not for you good churchy Christians that you want everything to be wrapped up and look pretty. This message is going to offend y'all who act like you won't ever go through nothing. But hopefully this message is going to help some people who have ever found themselves upset with God. Now, I know it is not popular to be in church and to have churchy folk by you to admit that there are some times that you were upset with God, but the reality is the longer you live, there's going to come a moment that you're going to have to look up and say, God, listen here. Now, I know y'all pretty. I know y'all are Christians. I know y'all are perfect. Y'all don't have those moments. But for the rest of us who are real, that we can admit to the fact that there are some things that happen in our lifetime that we could not explain, that in fact God didn't ask our opinion, he didn't even ask our permission, and just let stuff happen in our life and had the nerve to tell me to trust him in the middle of it. I don't mind telling y'all, even as the pastor, I had to look at God and say, God, you got to listen up. I don't know who you think you are, but listen, I shouldn't be done like this. Why? I ain't did nobody wrong. I ain't said nothing wrong, but yet you can still find yourself on display. Oh, I wish I had somebody. There are some things I want to lift up out of this text that Job deals with. And when the first thing Job deals with is the fact he lost on the job. Word came back that a storm came and that his enemies came and they stole all the sheep, and the fire stole killed all the sheep. And isn't it peculiar that you can be on the job 20, 30 years, mind your own business, go to work every day, and you still get a pink slip? Oh, y'all. Have you ever been on a job and minding your own business and somebody still tried to pick on you, still tried to bother you, put you in a position that you didn't want, tried to put you over here, put you over there? Isn't it amazing that on the job folk don't see the glory that's on your life? All they want to do is mistreat you, run you down, but you still got to smile and you still got to bless the Lord, oh my soul, and you still got to say, I love you in the middle of it, and don't sit here and act like you ain't never threw your hands up and said, what the hell is going on? I can't believe they treat me like this, saying this about me. He lost on the job, and here Job is. He lost all of his stuff, all of his money, and won't losing your money make you mad at God? I done went to work every day, and you telling me my car breaking down and it's no longer under warranty? Oh, no, somebody gonna fix this thing. You mean to tell me my house is paid for and now my roof is leaking and the insurance folks are telling me it wasn't due to a storm, it's just wear and tear, and they not gonna... Listen, when folks bother your money, it'll mess with your relationship, and you'll find yourself not talking to God, mad about your money. But is there anybody here that know God will supply all of your need according to his richness in Christ Jesus? If I ain't got no money in the bank, I got a God who owns the bank. So God, listen up. He lost on the job, but then secondly, he lost his health. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. You can eat healthy and still get cancer. Preach Terrell Demond. You can go to your yearly exam and still end up with some issues. You can go to the doctor, have him on speed dial, and still have some issues. You can take care of your body all through your youth and still get old and still break down. Isn't it funny how life will mess with your body, and if you're not careful, you'll find yourself mad? Now listen. I know somebody got to get sick, but it seemed like God will at least ask me my permission. If I wanted it to be, I understand somebody got to get cancer, but it seemed like he at least asked for some recommendations. See, y'all, come on. I'm talking to some real folk. I need some real folk. You ever have somebody get sick in your life and you ask God why it had to be them? God, I got 10 other folk that should have been sick. They ain't worth a quarter. They get on my last nerve. They ought to be the ones that. Have you ever noticed that the people that ought to be sick never get sick? The folk that cause the most hell seem to be the most healthy. Job was praying, and sickness came on his body. The word talks about that boils popped out, sores popped out. He's got insomnia. Nothing can seize the pain. And here he is following God, and now he's sick. Now he in the hospital. He on dialysis. Now he's got to take 7 or 8 pills. Now he's got all these issues. Now he got a cane to come into church. And it just seems that if you're going to bless the Lord all your life, you ought to never be on a cane. It just seems like if you've been praising God, you ought to never lose your eyesight. It just seems like if you've been faithful to God, you ought to never get sick. But is there anybody in here that realize it's in my sickness that I realize how good? Y'all, sir. It was while I was on the hospital bed that I realized God is not a God that just sits high, but he'll come into the room right where I am. He lost his sickness, and sickness can make us angry with God. I mean, it's one thing for mama to die, but why mama got to get sick before she died? Why daddy got to get sick before she died? Why do I have to go and see the woman who was strong enough to whoop me, strong enough to take care of me, fast enough to beat me running, and now she's on her bed of affliction? Why is it that God will let me live long enough, and now the woman who carried me, sometimes I got to carry them? And it puts you in a unique situation that you're praising God at the same time wondering to God, why did this happen in my life? I mean, it's one thing for somebody to die, but why they got to suffer? Why they got to suffer? Why they got to go from hospital to nursing home to rehab center? Why they got to go in and out of knowing who they are and who they're not? Or why do we have to go in and out of these situations? It just seems like in my church upbringing, I was taught that if I just went to Sunday school and went to service every Sunday, that everything bad was going to skip over my house. Somebody lied to me. And they was in church. They lied. They lied to me. They lied to me. They lied to me. They didn't tell me the truth. Dr. McCutcheon put it best. He says that trouble is found in the fine print of a believer's contract. The other folk lied to me. He was the only one to tell me the truth, but he should at least broke it down a little bit. He should have at least gave me a little bit more insight. He should at least told me that sometimes folk get sick, and I want them to die because they're sick, and God won't let them die. Now, y'all churchy people, y'all mad, but y'all do know that if you look at mama or grandma long enough and they suffer long enough, you will even change your prayers. The Lord, just take them on out of here. But isn't it amazing how God will leave them here in the middle of their illness, and God said, now it ain't about them. Now it's about you. I'm trying to draw you closer to me. And while you want me to take them out, I dare you to come closer to me, that I might have a relationship with you, that mama's already fixed it up. Now I'm leaving her here to get closer to. I'm leaving them here to draw you closer. I'm letting them suffer, letting you see them suffer to draw you closer. Sometimes it's in the middle of their suffering that you find out how selfish you are. Sometimes it's in the middle of their suffering that you find out how messy your life really is. And sometimes God will let them suffer. So God say, I just want a little talk with you. If you quit looking at them and start looking at me, what you're going to find out, I'm El Shaddai. I'm more than enough. That I got mama in my hand and you in my hand. But the problem ain't mama right now. The problem is you. And I double dog dare you to come closer to me while you're praying for mama, and watch if you won't hear angels all around the bedside singing unto the Lord. Yeah, I wish I had somebody that understands that it's in the middle of the mess. And so some of us find ourselves mad at God when we don't talk to God. Hey man, come on, walk with me. Y'all know how we get. Me and you ain't gonna admit to this, but we even smack our lips sometimes. Let enough life start happening. We do God just. People start asking us questions. How God doing? Talk about something else. We find ourselves going from Sunday morning and Wednesday night to now we go to church once a month. And when we come to church, we got an attitude. They over there shouting. I wish they shut up. Can I be real? Can I be transparent? Sometimes we'll sit in the sanctuary and say, I don't know why the hell they getting happy. I ain't got nothing to be happy about. I got more bills than I got money. I got more problems than I can explain. So-and-so was sick, so-and-so and sick, and now my blood pressure won't even act right. And they over there shouting. I hope they just fall. At least I have something to laugh about in the middle of my hell. And we'll be in the sanctuary mad at folk. And then don't let them get up and testify. Oh, they just bragging. They just bragging about how good God is. God ain't did all that. And then we get jealous. If God did all that for them, why he ain't doing nothing for me? See, some of y'all can't say amen because I'm talking about y'all even right now, that you're sitting in the sanctuary, rolling your eyes at somebody else. But I wish you could look in the mirror and tell yourself, God is not a respecter of persons. Whatever he did over there, he can do it over here. All I got to do is trust the Lord with all my heart and lean not unto my own, and he will direct my path. All I got to do is get this thing right, and God will move on my behalf. Haters never get blessed. Trouble on the job, he had trouble with his health, and then he even lost his kids. My heart goes out to every parent in here who's had to bury a child. It just seems unnatural. It seems unnatural that mama or daddy has to say goodbye to Junior or to daughter. It seems unnatural. It seems unnatural that a mother who gave birth to a child has to see that same child in a casket, but life will happen that way sometimes. And I've stood beside some of y'all. And I've seen the grace that was on your face. I also seen some of the trepidation that while you're saying, God, I trust you, you're on the other side saying, God, I'm mad at you. And you see, the problem with the church is we aren't real enough with each other to let folk tell us that they mad at God. How dare you be a deacon and be mad at God? You're supposed to have all the answers. How you going to preach every Sunday, Davis, and you mad at God? You the pastor. But let me tell you something. Life happens to all of us. Deacons, pastors, choir members, and members. And the reality is, if I didn't get mad at God every once in a while, I really wouldn't be close with God. Have you ever noticed you ought not get mad at folk you don't know and don't care about? That's the real sign of insanity, when you get mad at somebody you don't know, that you don't care about, that you ain't going to ever see again, and you walking around mad. They don't even know your name. You get most mad at the folks that you care the most about. And the person I care the most about is God. So guess who I get mad at every once in a while? I get mad at God because I'm saying, God, if you love me like you say you love me, let some of this stuff pass by me. Let some of this stuff. It ain't that I want everything to bypass, but let some of this stuff. Let some of this stuff get past me. Death in families cause folks to stop talking to God. Some of y'all in here right now, you know that you don't talk to God like you used to before so-and-so died. It's almost like you and God went through a divorce. You know where he lived at, but you just don't talk to him like you used to talk to him. Job finds himself in the same situation in verse 11. He just finally declares, listen, I ain't going to hold my tongue no more. Can I go ahead and contemporize the text? Job says, I'm through being quiet. I got something I want to say to you, God. And it's out of the anguish of my heart. Job has literally said, it's out of my pain that I'm about to speak. And let me just help you out. This is my fourth point. If you're going to put on your big boy pants, keep them on. If you're going to put on your big boy pants, keep them on. If you're going to tell God, listen up, you got on big boy pants. But keep your big boy pants on to hear what God has to say back. I'm going to mess up some of y'all religion. Listen, God ain't going to get offended if you mad and you pray and you cuss. You ain't the first person to cuss in the world, and he ain't going to get mad. But when you put your big pants on, keep them on, because God will listen to you, but he will have the final say. And here Job is. He tells God, look, I got my big boy pants on, and here's how I feel. I feel like all this stuff should have never happened to me. I feel like I'm innocent, and here my friends are talking about me. I'm on the front page of the newspaper. I done lost my money. My job is messed up. My kids are gone. My health is bad, and even my wife is talking crazy. How dare you, God? And God says, stand tall like a man and answer my questions. And I'm not going to give you all the questions, but I wrote down a few. He said, listen, where were you when I created the earth? Who drew up the blueprints? How was the foundation poured? Tell me, what do you know about death? When does light come from? And where does the darkness live at? Where is snow made? Tell me about the constellations in the sky. Did you teach the hawk how to fly? Did you teach the eagle how to build their nest? Now, Job, are you going to lose and go ahead and sue me and bring me to court? Well, if you're going to get me to court and you're going to put me on Judge Judy, I got something else to say. Job, tell me this. Where did I go wrong at? And where have I sinned at? I wish I had somebody that ever could admit that you looked at God and you said, what's going on? I remember my own testimony of when my parents died. I looked at God and I said, God, why did this happen? And God said, Terrell, keep your big boy pants on. I want to talk now. He says, you knew Tina as your mother, but I knew her as my daughter. You knew her for 40 years, but I knew her before she was formed in the womb of her mother. Is there anybody here? He asked me the question, you think you loved her, but when she was weary in the evening, who came to see about her? You think you loved her when the sickness was in her body, who healed her body?
somebody, God said, why you asking me questions? Can you answer my question? Who saved her soul? You sure didn't do it. And he said, Terrell, where were you when the sins of the world got too big? Where were you at when the world was on its way to hell? And where were you at when I needed a sacrifice? You didn't do it, but my only son did. Where were you at when I let him nail him to the cross? Where were you at when I let him spit in his face? Where were you at when I let him hang him high and stretch him wide? God said, my own creation killed my own son. And where were you at? But furthermore, where were you at when they put him in the grave? Where were you at on that Friday night, on that Saturday morning, on that Saturday night? And most importantly, where were you on that Sunday morning when he got up with all power? Is there anybody here that can look at God and say, I don't know where I was, I don't know what I did, I don't know where I've been, but this one thing I know, God, let me ask you this, where were you at through all this? And God will tell you, I was on the throne, still being God. I was on the throne when my son died. I was on the throne when your mother died. I was on the throne when your daddy died. I've been on the throne when your children died. I never left the throne room. Is there anybody here that you can throw your hands up and say, Lord, I thank you when I couldn't see you, when I couldn't hear you, when I couldn't feel you, I could trace you because you wrote in my heart. Is there anybody here that know if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I would have lost my mind? But God, in his infinite wisdom, knew what was coming my way. And even though it came, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Is there anybody here that you like Job? You've lost everything, but you still ain't lose your faith. You lost everything, but you didn't lose your praise. You lost everything, but you didn't lose your worship. Is there anybody here ever had to praise God and cry at the same time? Worship God and cry at the same time. What I found out is God will wipe away your tears. God will stand by you. God will hold you in the midnight hour. So go ahead, be mad at God, just don't lose your faith. Be mad at God, just don't lose your praise. Be mad at God, just don't lose your worship, because one of these glad mornings, when this life is over, Big Mama said, I'm gonna fly away. Is there anybody here that know weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning, and while I'm crying, I don't weep at those that have no hope, because I know now that while Big Mama was suffering, God was preparing, and when it was the right time, my God stepped from the throne room, Big Mama up and carried her. I wish I had somebody that you know that Mama got carried into heaven, and middle of the way she stopped in the dressing room and took off a cancer body and put on a body not made by the hands of man. I wish I had somebody. That's why I can cry and still praise, because I realize cancer didn't make it into heaven, high blood pressure didn't make it into heaven, but Mama made it. If we was in the country, they say mama has crossed that separation line, and she wouldn't come back if she could, because she's in a place where the wicked shall cease from troubling, and the weary shall be at rest. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here that you're living your life just to live again? Lord, I thank you that I didn't die in my foolishness. Lord, I thank you that while I was mad, you still held me. While I was angry, you still held me. While I wasn't talking to you, you still. It's not that we don't get angry. It's not that we're not even justified in our anger. But I wasn't there when he measured the earth from the sun. Wasn't there when he scooped out and made the sea. But I know this. He don't make mistakes. And we're in a season where the enemy wants to bind our minds and bind our praise and bind our worship, that we'll get so caught up in grief that we can't praise him. And the enemy will tell you, you can't praise God and cry. But let me help you out. Jesus prayed and sweated blood, that I can be fully saved and fully human and fully struggling with the why and fully trusting the who. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but there's some folk that you got to let go of some stuff. I told somebody even just 2 weeks ago, listen, go ahead and pray. Pray while you're mad. Pray while you're angry. Pray everything out. In fact, just get it all off your chest as you're talking to God. But then stay in your prayer room and listen to what God has to say in response. The same God that watched his son die on a cross, who had to comfort himself, is the same God who watched you watch your loved one die. But because he understands what comfort is, he's able to give you the comfort you need. So let life happen. Let life happen. Let life happen. Go through your situation. Go through your go-through. But praise God all the way through it. Tell folk around you who ain't saved, listen, this is going to be odd. And it's going to be crazy. But I'm going to cry at mama's funeral and shout at the same time. And so if you just want me to cry and not shout, you don't want to sit next to me. And if you just want me to cry and not shout, you might not want to come to my house. But I cry because I'm going to miss the physical body, but I shout because I know where her spirit is. Some of you here, you're saying, Reverend, I don't know, have a clue what you're talking about. And listen, I pray that you never do. But the reality is you will. Pray that you never do, but the reality is that you will. And so all over the sanctuary, we're going to do something different this morning. I need you who are been through some death. Whether it be a parent, whether it be a child, whether it be a spouse, I need y'all been through some death to stand up for me. And in fact, I need y'all to make your way down to the altar.